Today on ChessKid, I'd like to highlight one of the best games from my friend National Master Juan Sena. I would say Juan is one of those chess teachers that quietly goes about his business, but actually there's nothing quiet about the man. When he's in the room, he makes it happier and more joyous, and today, let's celebrate one of his best games. He was white in this game, and black played the no parking sign A6. Now, a mere mortal would move that knight backward to safety, right? Probably to the center, but maybe you go this way to not block the advance of the c-pawn. But no, not Mr. Sena. He plays the move A7. What is this? Is he Mr. Insana? No, actually, he shows deep positional understanding because when you're playing white in the King's Indian defense, often you like to be able to answer this pawn motoring down the board by playing H3 and blocking up the entire king side. The problem is this bishop is often the thing that breaks your defenses by sacrificing on H3. So Juan is so intent on getting rid of this light squared bishop, he's willing to sort of bury his knight in the hopes that the knight will take. Now, black didn't allow that. Black played bishop d7, but watch this. Now Juan played the move pawn to c5, and the pawn's going to come forward again and nearly trap the bishop. But wait a minute. Doesn't pawn c5 disconnect the bishop's protection of the knight? Indeed it does. Juan is actually sacrificing a pawn just to get rid of the bishop and to open up the c-file. That's great positional understanding. Not only does he get rid of the bishop, but he opens up the file he wants to open up to get the attack going on the queen side. So the rook took the knight, but then pawn c6, discovered attack on the rook. Obviously, the rook has to save itself. Juan captured. Again, he does technically lose a pawn, but now he plays queen b3, and he's the first to get the attack going. Black played queen c8, and we're actually going to fast forward a bunch of moves. Sorry, I'm missing some exciting elements here. And we arrived at this position about 15 moves later. It's crazy, but you can see he did break through on the queen side. He won both the c pawn and the d pawn. By the way, Juan has a protected passed pawn. Whenever I get a protected passed pawn in the middle game, it's quite nice because I think to myself, if I just get to the endgame, I'm going to win every endgame because I have this strong pawn. However, his own king is coming under some fire. There's not many pawns left, but he plays knight f5. Look at this brilliant move. We actually have a ChessKid YouTube video about this exact same idea. In fact, Juan is going to use the enemy pawn as his shelter. By the way, black better not go taking this rook. I know it looks like it's hanging because queen to g5 check is just going to lead to mate. When the king moves over, all we have to do is remove the defender, get rid of that rook, and when black takes back, it doesn't matter which piece, then there is a checkmate on g7. So just want to make sure everybody saw that. But if you've been watching our channel for a while, you probably already know that. Okay, so black played the move pawn takes pawn. The king hides behind the pawn. Again, the queen can't take because queen g5 check leads to mate, just like we showed you before. So black played the move queen f3, but wait a minute. Can you answer a check with a check? Why, indeed you can. It's called a cross check or a counter check, and white did just that. White played rook g2, stopping his own check and checking the black king in the process. So the king moves over, and then we had a whole bunch of trades. Remember, white does not mind going into the end game. Lots of trades. And in fact, the game was won by a really, really nice tactic that I'd love to show you. Okay, black played the move knight f8 because knight to g6 check was going to force the black king into discovered attack. That was not going to be very good. So Juan trades into a rook endgame, and now watch this really cool idea he uses to win. Black is almost making a comeback here. If you take a look, if black wins this pawn, it's actually going to be rook and 2 versus rook and 2. But look at this nifty idea. Pawn to b4, that's a National Master move. And after rook takes b5, what a breakthrough! And you can see the crown is on the white king's head, which means that black resigned. In fact, there is no way to stop this a pawn from motoring down the board, or perhaps this b pawn becoming an a pawn. Either way, if you take, amazingly, we just push. And although you can get the rook behind the pawn, yeah, you can give a check and my king moves and you can come behind the pawn. But when I push this pawn, you can't stop the rook from giving check and then promoting on the next turn. Black would have to give up his rook for the queen, and the black pawns are so far apart, they really don't pose any counterattack. They can't guard each other. So in some fashion or another, Juan would have won the black rook, and that's why black decided to resign. That's Juan's best game. I miss you, friend, and Juan, I hope you're doing well. And if you're a chess coach out there, you never know. You might get spotlighted by FunMasterMike someday, so look out.